Hello, everybody. I've been ill, and this is why I haven't been able to come on our podcast to talk about benefits of veterans and reparations and whatever else is going along in the country. What's going on in the country? We want to first send a shout out to Madame Georgia Osei Ubura and Sakani Takarati, Ghana, where our international we Black veterans, we 175 Black veterans support a soccer team in Sakani Takarati in Ghana, which is Oakland's African sister city. I was the CEO for the sister city for 9 years and got involved in it as far as having an office in the mayor's office in Oakland and an office in the mayor's office in Sakani Takarati. I have later on, I have all type of videos in which I went to Costco and got them into disc, so you can be able to see that our people want to work with us. I talked to the presidents, I talked to the banks. They're very interested in working with us because they make pots and jewelry and art and furniture, beads, feminine products. It could be a great thing for import export. Like some African American women can do quilts. To a business arrangement with someone in Ghana, she could be able to sell her quilts just because of the fact she's an African American, and that's a good piece of having a shop. We want to send out a shout to our soccer team coach, Mr. Benjamin, because what the program is designed for young boys, girls too if they want, to really get off into the trades. That hookup with Sakani Takarati Ghana enables them to come to America, learn how to be a engineer or brick mason, truck driver, or whatever, and go back home and use those skills, for a livelihood. On the same token, the boys in America, the brothers in America, and we have Local 3 here. I live on Treasure Island. They got massive work out here, but you got to be willing to be the laborer and run these machines. Okay, college is not for everybody. And on my program, there will always be people who accomplished things and done things. My guest speakers, they have done great things to move us forward and out of the racism that is plaguing our community and our race in America. By the VA and the government, I wanted to say that I think it's wrong if you send your child to school when there's no format, there's no plan. You don't know who has the virus. There's nothing being put in place for the virus, and you're gonna send your precious commodity up there to the school, not knowing if their child's gonna survive or not. And not only will you have to go to the hospital, do the changes, child may die. That's going to cause more financial burden on you. So I just don't think you should send your child to school. You need to stand up to this government and let this government know, no, I'm not sending my child up there. You have nothing in place. That's just like murder. But they don't care. All they talking about is looking at the dollars, trying to act like America is running all smoothly, and it's not. Okay? We have to watch. This thing about the stimulus check. Those individuals with the Senate, House of Representatives, they got their bills paid. They talked about giving thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to corporations to help bail them out. But when it comes to the citizens who've been paying that tax religiously year to year since I know in the 60s, they don't get a break. That's how greedy America is. That's how greedy she is about this money thing. But the Lord has shut all that down. So he might have come with a whole brand new game. God shut all that down. For all the things you've done to the people in the world, still got the Indians on reservations. I don't care if they do have casinos. In 2020, you see what I'm saying? It broke a lot of their treaties, which is now being brought into the news about Oklahoma and Texas. Some of that land was supposed to be given to them, and the government didn't give it to them. And that's how America is. You know, she wants to cripple you, make you subservient to her. So we want to be able to work with Dr. Claude Anderson and develop our own constitution, just like the Indians. Dr. Claude Anderson, you got to go ahead and hook him, you know, to pull him up and get on the reparation list. Okay, get on the reparation list. His books are flying off the shelves because a lot of us don't know who we are. They don't know we're Africans and what that entails. They don't know that. But with this low interest loans for small business for people of that caliber, and we should be able to do some international trading with people who look like us. That's the whole deal. The reason why we've been failing is because we've been working with everybody else but us. Africa got gold and diamonds and oil, in which can be utilized for investments. A lot of you don't know because you haven't went nowhere. You ain't went out your state. Been in your state 50 years, don't know anything. Never did get a passport to go out and explore different avenues how to make some money economically, like the rest of the men of the world are doing. Okay, I did. About them working with us. We had a deal on the table in 2000 where Congress passed the African Growth and Development Act. But what happened is 9/11 came around, they shut everything down with the trade and the negotiations and everything. Well, we're picking them back up because we still want to work with our brothers and sisters over there who have the African Development Bank, the African Import-Export Bank, and these banks will be talking about loaning you money to buy homes, open up small businesses because of the trade agreement that they have with America. What we're going to have to also be able to do is make sure, like I said, that our children are being able to have skills. You're a truck driver all over the world. 18-wheeler commercial truck driver, longshoreman, warehouseman, brick mason, advocating for these young boys, girls that they want to get off in their Kool-Aid. And I say that because a woman could be in that field, but just drive one of those big machines. Okay, stick and move, and have the intelligence enough to know where they want the dirt and everything else, you know, of that nature, and become an engineer. Before we were stolen and brought here, we were engineers. You know what I'm saying? They've reduced us down to pushing shopping carts and begging for them a job in their business. But with this here, working with Africa, you can create your own business. I've been there. I'm going to show you the tapes when I went to the shops, okay, to make sure I wasn't going to be getting cheated. I went to the shops to make sure that they were really making the product. Fantastic product. I got all type of pictures to show you of the products that can be sold, and you can open up your own business and make a nice profit. Okay. Just a minute here. There it is. There. Okay. So we want to get off into talking about the veterans. Now, in 1944, the federal government decided to give veterans benefits. At that particular time, 5 million black veterans never got their benefits. This is how racist the government is. This is what they do. They didn't get their benefits so they can be able to purchase a home, open up a small business, education for their children. They reneged on that, just like they have done with the Indians, reneging on their treaties that they signed. They reneged allegiance over the whole campaign, which we weren't even allowed to get it come to the table. And the American Legion set up all this racism, you know, on their part. They're only going to help those who get the homes and open up small businesses and income property. And by the way, a lot of black veterans would like to purchase some income property, and they would like to rent it out to low-income people as a form of giving back. But what we're doing is fighting the VA on getting our benefits. We've been having veterans wait 7-8 years for the benefits, and it really shouldn't take that long. You have widowers, husband passed away, and the VA refuses to give them the survivor benefits. You see what I'm saying? Racist, very racist, always been that way since 1944. They would not give the black man their due. My father was in the military. He didn't get his benefits. You know what I'm saying? He could have purchased some income property, open a business. My dad was a very hard-working man, but he didn't have the education about the benefits, and wasn't nobody running around trying to make sure that the blacks had the benefits. So when I seen this, and I seen that how my dad got duped, I'm a Marine, ex-Marine myself. We black veterans got together and said, let's do something about it. Let's continue to fight for these benefits. You give it to your kids, you got to give it to your wife. Even if you're separated, she needs her cut, just like you need your cut. Okay? And we're here to have workshops to educate the veteran about how we do credit repair. We'll be doing it right here. Since of the virus, we can't move around and have meetings like we normally do, but we can use this iPod medium and want to participate. Now, we still have lenders for the veterans, and we have real estate agents willing to work with that veterans, and we also do credit repair. Now, for the community, we didn't leave them out. There are special loans and things in which you could get, especially women, for small businesses and for homes, in which you can look into, and we'll be giving you information how to tap into that. But our main thing is not to be dependent on corporate America for jobs no more. No more. We're going to work with Africa. She's the supplier. She has everything, the diamonds, the gold, rubber, cocoa, which you can invest your money in. In order, if you're going to make a solar panel, you need to go to Africa to talk to them about prices and a deal. The same thing with cell phones, okay? And so we want to be able to understand, you to understand that we are working with Africa. Everybody that got type podcast continue to talk and talk and talk. Then you want to go right back to massa. This is a time while this virus is here to break away from massa. Get away from massa. You got your own people. The money look like us, okay? You don't look like these slave owners that own slaves and had us in trickery, coming out of slavery. They put us right back on the plantation by passing a law. You'd be a vagrant if you didn't have a job. You see what I'm saying? Send us right back to the plantation, sharecropping. Okay, prisoners. That's what they was doing. Prisoners. Why? We won't work with our own people. We won't work with our own people. I'm talking about people that got something. In America, there's nothing. We don't manufacture nothing. You're an American, right? Everybody else is American, but you when you come over here. When they come over here, okay? They gave the immigrants when they first came here 75 acres of land. We didn't get anything. How you gonna make something with nothing? Okay. So what we're very excited about working with the African Development Bank and our own people. We're very excited about our international soccer team because, like I told you, their job is to make sure they get a skill, and the African American brothers here will be selecting those individuals who want to get into Local 3 and other trades out here, and see if we can help fund them, have fundraisers to get them through, get them through that course, which would be fantastic. And that way, that young man will always have a skill, and he'll always be in Shitu. They'll be in demand, and that's what we're looking for, because everybody that's going to come on this podcast have been contributing to doing something and have already done it. I've been as Oakland representative for 40 years. I was a youth director, 1970, 1975. I was in charge of getting nonprofit job for youth, along with work with all the other agencies, the airport, train, depot, city hall, fed level, to train them. And if they were in the program for 3 years in the summer, youth, they were able to select that job that they were working at as a career. Okay, so I got a lot of experience in that, along with working with the United Nations, and that'll all come up later, working with the United Nations and the Liberian Community Foundations and the Black farmers um, that got involved in the struggle of the Liberians who were being dogged uh, up there in Vallejo, California, but we handled that. So one more shout out to Georgina Osei-Yubura, our CEO, up in Sakandi Takoradi. It's her birthday today, and she's been doing a fantastic job with the soccer team, holding down the fort of the property so we can meet, and working with the mayor of Sakandi Takoradi to bridge this program so Africans be working with Africans up under the program. Okay, so now we want to talk about the veterans. First of all, veterans, if any of you have your certificate of eligibility and you want to move on Treasure Island, you must go get your certificate of eligibility and security card. And if you want to move on Treasure Island because you don't live in San Francisco or you don't live on the island, you have to go down to Van Ness and Market, right above the Bank of America building on the 5th floor at the Mayor's Office of Community Development. You must sign up for the program DAHLIA. I think that's Dahlia, but that's the Dahlia program for people who don't live in San Francisco and for people who don't live on the island and the veteran that want to get first priority out here for these condominiums being built out here on Treasure Island. So I'll be repeating that again about any veteran that want to be able to get that. And understand that what you got to do is get your credit together. That's not a problem, because your certificate of eligibility, if you can afford it, is worth $1 million. And this is what we're trying to talk about, the money in which our community have that the racist government is keeping us from. Okay, it's the same thing with the small business loan, $350,000, no money down for the veteran, but they're not trying to give us the same props as they give the rest of the veterans and the people in the United States. This is why we work with Africa, work with the African Development Bank and the African Import-Export Bank. They're in for business, just like them. Okay, just bumping your head against the same wall, asking these people for this and that and that and this, and they continue to deny you and keep you economically broke. There's no way in the world they shouldn't be passing out this money to these veterans, because we helped them in the wars, and without us, they'd have got their ass whooped. Okay, in whatever capacity we served in working with them. We want to talk about for the veterans that you must get your DD-214 form, and you must go to the VA to apply for it, so you can at least start looking at some property and means of taking care of it. We'll be discussing your 10%, 15%, 20% in order for you to qualify for these homes, okay? So a lot of you got 10%. In order for you to be able to elevate yourself towards the 80 and 90%, you're going to have some other ailments wrong with you. And I'm quite sure you probably have. You just haven't complained about it and just let it go. But any other ailment, once you got 10%, 20%, you got to go to the doctor and have it documented. It must be documented so that you can get your percentage elevated, okay? When everybody's trying to shoot for the 100%, because every time when you were serving, every time you got a paycheck, they took your check and slapped it into a pension. That's the money that you're recouping, the pension money for the veterans that don't have a job or they're homeless or whatever. So there shouldn't be no homeless veterans as long as you get hooked up with the right people and letting your pension start to flow. Okay, so you're gonna have to be able to get your DD 214 form that you earn. You have to have an honorable discharge, and then you'll be able to continue to come on this podcast as we get rolling because I was ill and I had to shut this down for a moment in order to get well. But we'll be talking about on the podcast about the veterans getting that certificate, utilizing it, and working with our real estate agent and our lenders so you can bring that to fruition and go and spend that money. See, there's wealth in the hood for a lot of the Black veterans, but the racist VA and the racist American Legion is trying to stop all Black veterans. And that's why we have to stand together, and we will get together and step to them as we continue to get more organized about them not giving us our benefits and denying our children the rights after we went in and helped them with those sloppy ass wars. And I want a lot of you to understand that a lot of us was drafted. Did nobody want to go fight America's war against another race so America can kill their leaders and steal their resources? But we weren't into that. It was 10 years in the penitentiary, $5,000 fine. Brothers didn't have that type of money. So this is why we love Muhammad Ali so much, for standing up and not going fighting that war, because it didn't bring us anything. Before I continue to talk about the veterans and the certificate and the next move, I want to say that I wouldn't vote unless they were talking about reparations. Okay, there's no way in the world I'd be voting if they're not talking about reparations. Now, out in California, the state assembly passed a bill to study reparations. We already studied reparations 15 years in HR 40. Okay, in HR 40. We already studied it. It's been about 17 years of studying. We need them to cut the check. Like Vicky Dillard would say, cut the check. As a matter of fact, I want to send a shout out to all of the queens on FlyNubianQueen.com TV. Very serious individuals about fighting the racism and discrimination in America. But them too must cross over with Dr. Claude Anderson and get our own constitution. And see, Miss Dillard, I got my gavel too, because this is the gavel I use to hold meetings for the veterans to talk about our benefits, income, property, investments. Okay, so I got this little tidbit from you, and I want to thank you for inspiring 175 Black veterans to get this podcast to come forward and educate our people about the money that they're missing, and especially about opening up small businesses. Okay, so I wouldn't vote unless reparation was on the table, and it had to say we're going to cut the check. Because if you don't, you're just going to go and vote for everything they want. The country is the Senate. That's who got the stimulus check all tied up. The Senate. Okay, you don't need to be talking about Trump all the time. Trump. We are in a caste system. Black people are stuck in a caste system. If our constitution, like the Indians, get our own land, get our own economic empowerment mojo going on. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need the white folks ripping and running up and down the street with us about Black Lives Matters when they should be in Congress and the Senate fighting for a reparation check for us. You just they're dedicated, but a lot of them are out there who are CIA agents, FBI agents, burning up stuff, blowing stuff to take away from the movement. Okay, that's what they're out there for. You don't need them out there. We need them in Congress and in the Senate talking about reparations that they've been enjoying, instead of them coming with us, trying to put their agenda on the table. Like they with us. You ain't been with us. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to help us in the Black Lives Matter struggle and this new beginning, you need to go to Congress and tell Congress and tell the Senate that reparations are due. And we'll get into why reparations are due a little later on. But getting back to the veterans, once you secure your certificate of eligibility, then it's time for you to start doing your credit repair. Now, what we've been doing is going to U.S. Bank and getting a secured credit card. And we advise you to go out and spend on your credit card and start paying the bills on time. That enables you to get about 3 or 4 more credit cards. Now, all you need is about 4 credit cards. Once you get that taken care of, and then you pay your bill on time. And what we'll do every 4 months, you'll have U.S. Bank pull up your credit report and see how you're doing. Okay. A lot of the veterans, like I said, got if they're not working, you can apply through your pension, service-connected, non-service-connected money. Service-connected is when you got hurt when you were in the military. You got documentation behind it. Non-service-connected is when you got out the military, you're not doing well, you might be suffering from PTSD, no job. That's when you can pick up your non-service-connected benefits. You don't have to stay on the streets. Once you report to a homeless shelter, you get a counselor that turns on your funds for your pension that you earn. You won't be in no more in the homeless shelter no more than about 30, 40 days as they continue to get your paperwork together so you can move into a nice apartment and put your feet on solid ground, vet. Okay? Then after that, there's other agencies that are going to help you. And then you can work on your service-connected or non-service-connected benefits. Now, as we continue to go on, there are different documents that you have to file. You just can't file with a piece of paper. We're up on a Title 38. And those forms, if you're going to elevate your veterans benefits, you need this form. If you're going to file for service-connected, you need this form and help you get your records and things of that nature. Now, the VA is very racist. We will also help fight your case on an appeal because they don't want to be able to give the black man, black woman they do money coming out the military. This is why we're going to have to be able to continue to fight. Now, we work with Barbara Lee's office, Pelosi's office. They got veteran representatives in there, but they're not doing a damn thing. If you come to them with an appeal and you're black, you're out of luck because they don't have the type of skills to be able to get in there and fight for the veterans' money. We will. The 175 black veterans in the Bay Area, we will take your case up and run it up in there and continue to fight for your money. And like I said, there's been veterans waiting 6, 7 years for their money. Okay? And the VA is supposed to have been helping them brothers being able to prepare their paperwork and file for the benefits which they were seeking after they had served and put the money in the pot. So they're not begging. They're just getting what's due to them. And what we like to do is continue to have the veteran get their benefits. If they want to open up a small business, we want to be able to work. Obama was in office. He could have been able to help black veterans secure small businesses through SCORE. SCORE is in every city in America, and their job is to make sure they help you put your business plan together, find you some great lenders so you can open up the business. But if you're black, they don't want to hear that. They have you sitting in classes, and the counselors miss the dates and things of that nature. Okay, but he wouldn't even enforce them up under the 13th, the 14th, and 15th Amendment for us to be able to open up a small business or for us to be able to spend our certificate of eligibility, okay, to buy a home, open up some income property. I went to flew to flew to Washington, D.C. to see the Congressional Black Caucus when all the mayors and things from Africa was here to talk about the trade deal. Okay, and they Obama went up there and talked with them and told them to stop whining and stop doing this and that. You know, after they had passed the pact about work on Africa. Well, excuse me, before then, because they passed it. Then he told them to stop crying, and I thought that was a shame that this black man could have had the opportunity just to enforce everything of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment about us. That's why we got to get out of here as far as their constitution. We got to get off from under their constitution, get our own constitution like the Indians, so we can be able to have economic empowerment, land, so we can be able to have small businesses working with Africa, okay? Working with Africa, because these people, they're not going to want you to be able to do this and that. But you can take some of your American dollars and invest in rubber. Everybody needs rubber. You know, them tires are ripping, running up and down the street, okay? Oil. Everybody needs oil. Or you'll be able to sell some of their products. Like I have this chain here. This is from Sakani Takarati. You know, open up a small business. This watch is from Sakani Takarati, and so is this ring. Great craftsman. And I went all over the West Africa, talking to the presidents, talking to the mayors, talking to our people who want to work with us. And like I said, I had the videos so that I could be able to show you later on what our people think of us. What our people think. We have to continue to fight for the veterans to make sure they get their benefits. And I was looking at the Fly Nubian Queen podcast the other day, and they were boycotting a fish market. Okay, they're very disrespectful to this young man that walked in there and the community. Anyway, they were shutting them down. Okay, but there was a female veteran that was there, and she was talking about when she was at the hospital how she had some concerns and was talking to the police officers there about what was going on, and they threw them all against the wall. These are women. They threw them all against the wall and treat them like animals. And that's what the VA does. They got those federal guards in it, and they will sick them on you. They will sick them on you. Get them, you know, throw the black person all down on the ground and carrying on and disrespect them and put you all in court. You know, that's the way they train up there. They got these Filipino nurses. They call the police on the black veterans all the time. You know, don't nobody know if they got a good record, but they're shielding them. We're gonna break that up too, because you ain't gonna continue to be pushing me down and stuff. You might as well blow me away. Because I'm gonna stand up for mine. I've been doing it for 40 years out of North Oakland, California. We've done a lot of great shit. We had a black curriculum, making sure that happened, making sure we had jobs for our youth, making that happen. But now it's the thing is where we're at the point that we want to work with our own people, just like Chinatown, downtown Oakland, San Francisco. They got their banks and things, they're rolling. Same thing like the Mexicans up under the NAFTA deal. They ain't hating. But we have a own deal working with Africa. And you need to think about getting you a passport and going over there and see about your brothers and sisters. And by the way, y'all got some cousins over there. Yes, you have cousins over there. Okay, over banks, on gas stations, and all type of good businesses and culture over there. And you need to think about going over there and hook it up economically, and getting something done. And that's what we plan to do. Now, I have an import-export business, but the racist government blocking so that we won't be able to bring 300 jobs to the Oakland area, 300 jobs to County Takarati, because somebody got it loaded in Ghana. So that's why the mayor in Africa was loving us black veterans so much, because we were creating jobs there too. If someone got to unload them to get here, we're going to hire our people to do that and open up a warehouse. We were working with McEnany, Oakland city councilwoman that ain't about nothing, neither is this broad named Cook that's running around there acting like they know so much about economic empowerment. They didn't do nothing. We were trying to get them to host a conference in Oakland. They didn't have the intelligence to know how to do that on an international level, even though we had done most of the work and went down to Sacramento, where the East Bay program is, to try to hook them up. But we'll be able, since this virus is here, things are different, and we'll be able to go around all those biscuit eaters, bootlickers, and individuals who all they want is a check for themselves. Now, me and my 175 veterans, we violate hard. So we don't need to be trying to steal nothing from the program and this and that. Because later on, we will be asking for donations. And those donations for the veterans that get pencils and papers. We're going to feed them a good meal. We're going to bring the best professionals we can aboard to help them purchase that property, whether it's going to be income property or a single family home, open up a small business. We're going to educate them about their children they got benefits coming from, okay? And different benefits they have. Just like at the commissary now, they just got to open it up. Well, if you were 10%, 5%, you get a commissary card to help you out, for the veterans. We want to make sure that we continue to let the veterans know that we're behind them 100%. And a lot of them you may not understand, but we're up on a Title 38. That's the rules and regulations in which we go by in order to achieve to get your benefits for you. And what we want to do is continue to work hard for the veterans. So let me go back over there again. We can talk about this certificate of eligibility. You must get that. Once you get that, then we'll be able to hook you up with our team to help you purchase that property. The other monies that we'll be raising will be for the soccer teams, for them to be able to come up to America, play a match, have a dinner with the mayor, and split the money up evenly with the boys from Sakani Takarati, Ghana, and the Black youth here in the Bay Area. And that would be for them to be able to go to trade school to learn how to be an engineer, drive trucks, brick mason, electrician, and things of that nature. That's what we into as far as working with the young men who are concerned, 175 Black veterans of the Bay Area. Okay, now back to this subject about reparations. There's no way in the world that you need to go to the polls and vote unless reparations is on the table. 1995, me and my brothers, we filed for reparations. That's me. So picture, but this is 1994. We filed for reparations, took it all the way to the Ninth Circuit Appeal Court, and they said, well, us from Africa brought us over here and you talking about it's legal. Then you had a whole bunch of coons running around and talking about, ooh, we can't get the money for the reparations. It'll break America. This is how ignorant that individual is. And there's nothing but the GNP. You know what I'm saying? He probably can't count past 2,000, him or her. And they have no love for themselves. They have no love for the African that's in them and what the trials and tribulations that we went through. All they care about is themselves and try to act like a white person over here in America. To even talk about America don't have the money for the reparations. I bet if they cut them a check and they wouldn't send it back. I bet that. But as far as them working for it, no, they're not gonna be able to do that. And that's why we don't want to be working with them. Them bootlickers. And as Miss Dillard called her, them biscuit eaters. Throw them a bone is all they want. just like she indicated, because all they want is a salary. They want to use the misery of for our people to get on some program, some TV, or some platform, so that corporate America can pay them a check and say, "This is how you niggas, this is how y'all should be able to behave," just like this. And they pay them to quiet us up. Okay. But that young black man, that young black woman today, they're not hearing that. They've already seen us go through talking about, yeah, that's my house. No, the bank owned that house. You ain't had a chance to go nowhere. 30-year mortgage, you ain't went nowhere. All you've been in your own city. This is why you don't know what's going on in the world. Because America's brainwashed you to the point that that's all you know. You Philadelphia, that's all you know. Los Angeles, that's all you know. Florida, that's all you know. Oakland, California, that's all you know. 30, 40, 50 years in that city, that's all you know. There's a whole world out there, especially working with your own people. And I know you see a lot of Africans that come from Africa come over here. And my thing is, they're a trip to me. Because why would you leave your own country where you're free to open up your own business and come work for America as a slave? I don't care how much money you're getting. You're in your own land free. You come over here working for them. Okay? Which was ridiculous to me. Now, working with Dr. Claude Anderson with Reparations, he has a beautiful format in which we can follow. I like it. I would endorse it. He has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful format. You know, as far as low interest loans, schools, small business loans, home loans, and you know, things of that nature. That's the program we need to get with. You need to pull up Dr. Claude Anderson, sign up for Reparations, and get on board. Because he's looking to develop a brand new constitution, just like the Indians did, so we can police our own neighborhoods, so we can be able to have our own land, open up our small businesses. I really like the platform that Dr. Claude Anderson is on. Okay, so I hope you will get a chance to pull him up, sign up for Reparations, and let's move forward. Now in the Bay Area, I'm moving with a supervisor in San Francisco, Mr. Watson. Once this all clear sign will be ready in San Francisco, we can sit down and meet and talk about reparations, or however we're going to set up a forum to talk about reparations, because he's behind it 100% as well. We have some individuals in Kansas City, Missouri, and St. Louis that's down with reparations, you know, as well. Reparations is economic justice for all the things they have done to us. I was very shocked when my cousin from Kansas City, Missouri, had sent me some information about the Devil's Punch Bowl. And this was right after slavery. The Devil's Punch Bowl, they had our people in a concentration camp, and they were building bridges and building all type of structures, but they worked them to death, and wherever they died, that's where they buried them. Excuse me, if they dropped dead in the middle of the field, that's where they buried them. And so a lot of them got buried that way. And it's my understanding that is at least 30,000 died in the Devil's Punch Bowl. Okay, this is why reparations is due. We have Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street, which we had 100 towns like that. And the federal government let these racist, white organizations and groups burn our stuff to the ground, and we didn't get no protection. Matter of fact, we never had no protection from the federal government since we've been over here, since those type of groups sprung up, was continued to murder, kill, and try to wipe us out. You had the inventions they stole. This is why reparations is due. The third rail that's pushing most of the cars around the different cities, like in the Bay Area, BART. The third rail was invented by Granville T. Woods, black man. Granulated sugar, that revolutionized the sugar industry all over the world. The shoe machine revolutionized the shoe machine all over the world. The stoplight revolutionized the traffic, downtown, whatever, all over the world. We didn't get any credit for this. We didn't get any pay for this. Then you got us with the 500 years of slavery with no pay. And a lot of us think we're supposed to get out here and compete with the rest of the world for nothing. Most of them were giving things. Excuse me. Most of them were giving things like this. At the gold rush in 1860, we were still slaves. They were able to go out there and go get some gold for and help their families out. They gave, excuse me again. They gave a lot of land out to the immigrants, 75 acres when they got here. And before that, America gave away millions of acres of land. I believe it was in 1862, while we were still slaves, in which people got a shot at, getting some land and setting up stakes and providing for their families. Well, we didn't have that opportunity. This is why reparations is due. Also, for all the discrimination in the jobs in which we had to fight through the years to get some type of compensation for the wrong, that was done to us. We were doing just fine with cities like Tulsa, Oklahoma. Didn't need no intervention from the white folks, because we spent our own dollars, our own money, and they got jealous and burned our town to the ground. America owe us for that. You didn't send your troops in there, but you got troops all over the damn world taking care of business for you. But when it came to people who were born here, looked like me, when the racist white groups came at us, there was no federal protection whatsoever. As a matter of fact, a lot of them just took off their uniforms, excuse me, took off their uniforms and put on their Klan outfits and join the gang. So it was very important about reparations to be handed over. They need to cut the check, stop playing. Don't give up your vote, voting for no Trump or nothing else, or nobody else, unless reparations is on the table. Not no study. Cut the check, because you'll be voting for everything they want and you'll get nothing. It's the electoral college that picks the president anyway. You ain't, even though you might get out there and with your popular vote and vote for whoever, they're not going to win, because they elect the college is the one who select the president, and then the Senate run America. So you don't even have to be talking about Trump. We are in a box. That box says niggas here. We're in a box. The only way to get out that box is to get our own constitution and get away from out the box. The ones that want to stay with Massa and love him so much, let them stay. Don't even waste your breath trying to tell them anything other than that. We're looking for wealth. We're not looking for income. They want everybody to run back to work so you can keep their economy going. You need to think about opening up your own business and working with Africa. Let their economy go on by its own business, because that's what they've been doing. Not giving us the chance to get economic empowerment. But with Africa, we'll be able to do that. And on a lot of my shows, I'll be showing you the tapes. I'll be showing you what the advantages of being able to work with West Africa. Like I said, we're in Sakani Takoradi already, working with that city and their youth, and our youth here in the Bay Area, which it looks good to show the nation that we are trying to work with one another. My tapes that I show you will reveal that our people want to work with us. Dressmakers, people who make furniture, pots and pans and jewelry and art, clothing, very nice line. And as big as West Africa is, you'll never run out of designs or supplies to make your customers happy. We want to also talk about reparations to the fact that they broke up a lot of families. Okay, took our language, made us speak English, denied passports and things of that nature for us to be able to empower ourselves. Now, you got a brother that may owe some child support. This government would take his passport so he can't go make no money. Then you tell me you owe money, but you white people are the ones who create the jobs. This is why we had to create our own jobs. You can't sit around and wait for them to make sure that you're eating or passing on some great knowledge or working skills to your family. You can't be sitting up there waiting on them. It's the same thing about the schools. They poison our kids' minds in the schools to be subservient to them. Go to college. Most of the blacks I know that went to college, they have a degree, but Americans are hiring in that field. Now you owe a great big old bill for to pay the college back. And the job you got, $17, $18 an hour, is not going to get it. This is why we have to get our own constitution, have to get our own businesses and stuff working with Africa because she's got the supplies and investments. You invest your money. You want to sit up here and wait on them to create you a job. We have to, as a people, be forceful, talk to SCORE about, yeah, you're going to give up the loans. You're going to give up this and that because everybody else is getting them and we want ours too. You see, a lot of people so worried about going back to work, getting on these old low-paying jobs. They don't want to open businesses for themselves. This is why we're hooking up with West Africa. Actually, all of Africa. We have some people we're talking about in South Africa because they make great products down there too, which will give you a different variety in your store to sell in America. Oh boy, I don't know why. Yeah, I'm sneezing. I ain't got no virus. We veterans get tested once a month. Oh, praise God. And another thing, I want to set out. Where's the Pope? You know, always waving his hand out and carrying on and blessing people. And look at me and blessing the people that got the virus because he's the fake. That's why. Like the rest of these Negro pastors with the white Jesus on the wall, stringing hair, blue eyes, that don't know nothing. When I went to Africa, I was able to meet with the Hebrews. I was able to meet with our people and get all these lies that America had been telling me. I had to kick them to the curb because I was there with the truth. And that's the only way you're going to be able to know something. Get off your behind, get your passport, get your shot and go on over there and talk with your people. You have cousins over there. A lot of African Americans have already moved over there. They're not coming back because of the economic empowerment. Okay? I only wanted to live 6 months in America, 6 months in Africa because Africa is where the products are being made. And I want to be there to look at the new lines that come out and sell those products here in Canada and Mexico. Make sure we was on the same page. But what I'm telling you, our own Constitution up under Dr. Claude Anderson, you got to pull him up. You got to sign up for reparations. The election date is coming. I wouldn't give up my vote. Unless reparations is on the table and they say we're going to cut the check. That's how powerful your vote is. That's how powerful. Biden know it. He know he needs. That's why he wants this black woman up in here, but they ain't going to do nothing for us if just because she's got a position. We talk about economic empowerment. What you going to do for us? Obama's up there 8 years, didn't do nothing. 8 years, didn't do nothing. You can pull his record. The white folks didn't like him because they passed none of his bills. But under the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment, we should have had something coming. Obama should have made sure of that. He made sure all the other races got they zuzus and wham whams up under those amendments. Was able to get bank loans, home loans. You see what I'm saying? Our people got hooked up in the historical news about Obama. Economically, he didn't do nothing. But since this virus is here, it's a chance to get your freedom. Start looking at Africa. You got computers now as far as looking at West Africa and looking at the resources that you might want to invest in. Look in West Africa and see what type of product you might want to get involved in. Now, the Europeans still are over there, but I can tell you one thing, the Ashantis chased them out to bring them to the table so they can negotiate. So a lot of our brothers and sisters have the right to sell the cocoa, sell the rice, sell the gold. They got the right, okay, that you can negotiate with. They had the guts to get up and fight for independence, and they won. And I was there loving it and got the chance to work with the Ashanti and Ashantihini, the Ashantis who cleared out the whole 15 nations of the British and all the other individuals who was over there raping Africa. And they're still there because they still need those resources to have their countries functioning. And we want to be able to have you to tap into that. The reparation money would be able to help you get started to work with your own people. Just like in Chinatown, just like with the rest of the races out here who are making good money, working with themselves. And that's exactly what we got to do. Reparations is economic empowerment, okay? Economic justice is what we're talking about. You can't run around here and continue to put your foot on our necks and we run back to you year after year after year. Okay, master. Instead of stepping out of that box, they got us in a box. Step out the box and talk to your own people. That's what we plan to do. Talk to our own people. Shout out again to Madame Georgina Osei-Ibura in Ghana. Sakanti Takarati is her birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Many more. Tell the soccer team that we're back on the air now, and they can be able to voice their opinion as we continue to move forward. I'm going to have a lot of guests on here that have done things, okay? That's who I deal with, people who have done things and they're not playing. Going to continue to be telling the veterans how to get their benefits, okay? So these podcasts will be to the point you can always look up and find out about your benefits. Going back over the veterans benefits, get your certificate of eligibility. Let's work on your credit repair. We got our own real estate agent, which will be coming on my podcast program to talk to you. We have other videos for you to look at so you have a better understanding, because they put on some great videos before this podcast show. And you'll be able to pull that up, and anything that you was missing or you was lacking, you'll be able to get that information off of that. A homeless program we'll be talking about. We Black veterans will probably give a gift away to our viewers once a month, free of charge. And we're all about economic empowerment, working with our kids, working with these Congress and senators about reparations and for the veterans' rights. Because like I told you, Dianne Feinstein, Pelosi, Barbara Lee, they got some jackass in their office who don't understand how to write an appeal form, and they don't want to fight for the veterans' benefits. This is the benefits the veterans put in every time they got a check to the government. Wow. Okay. I want to show you. Here's another article where the commander fighting for the benefits. There's my adjutant. Fighting for the benefits against the racist American legions and the racist government who refuse to give Black veterans their benefits. And like I said earlier in the show, 5 million Black veterans didn't get their money. So that left void economically in our community. They weren't able to open up businesses with the guaranteed certificate, single family homes for their families. They weren't able to take care of their children who want to go to college or trade school, because the government didn't give the black veterans their due. This is why we holler so hard now. We will be able to come together through this podcast and other veteran organizations and demand what we got coming. As long as you had an honorable discharge, you was able to get your benefits. I'd be glad when San Francisco come off lockdown so I can get me a haircut. I normally keep it short, but that's okay. Well, Thursday I'll be talking about Sakandi Takarati and the advantages of working with West Africa, okay? And we'll also be talking about reparations again. We'll also be talking about the racist American legions. So this is Commander Samuel Patterson Jr., individual who do things in life, make things happen. Everybody that comes on my show and talk to my show will be individuals who made things happen and fought against racism and fought against white supremacy, so we can be able to get out of this economic hole. I have no doubt by working with West Africa and Africa that economically you can come out of the hole and do what you want to do. If you can go to college and work for one of these racist companies and make them money, you can make your own self some money. We got to get out of that slave mentality and working for them. The virus here is to set us free. All these leaders have never got on their knees and asked God to help them with this virus crisis. None. Where the Pope? Where's he at? Is he hiding? Like the rest of these fake pastors hiding? Because you don't use a fake all the time. God is here. This is an opportunity for you to get free. Make up your own mind. Let's get our own constitution. Get away from this constitution. To mean us no good. Okay? Let's get money that look like us. Work with our own people and understand our culture. This is not our culture. Make sure we take care of our own kids in school and get our own schools. Congressman Cotton is talking about having the children learn oral sex, like 4th to 6th graders in the classroom, telling young boys anal sex is not that bad, and tell them how to use a condom. This is what they want to teach our kids. This is what they want to teach our kids. A pedophile's dream. They've been raping these kids for years, having us turn our heads as these pastors and Boy Scout leaders have been raping these kids. You know, God is here to take care of all this. He's got this. So I think the best thing we can do is continue to move forward. Economics for us. Don't vote unless reparations on the table. Because it don't make no difference who the president is. We are in a box. We are in a box. And all the rhetoric and talking and running around here speaking of what they've done to us is not going to help. We got to get out the box. Economically get out the box. Like I said, I'm not going to be wasting my time on individuals who want to stay in the box. So it's a waste of breath. But working with West Africa, and you see people coming on my show talking about the advantages of working with West Africa. These are people who want to work. These are people who open up their own businesses. We ain't talking about the drug dealers. We ain't talking about the hustlers. We ain't talking about the rappers and everything. We're talking about people who want to get off into import, export, and having their own business and leaving a legacy for their children. So right now, I'm about to let it go. Thursday, we'll be talking about the racist American legions. We'll be talking about reparations, and we'll be talking about Sakandi Takarati. I'll probably open the show up talking about Sakandi Takarati. So Until next time, this is Commander Samuel Patterson, Jr., fighting hard for veterans, fighting hard for the community, fighting hard for us to work with Africa, who will be our supplier, and have plenty of resources for us to come out of this box that we're in, okay? Take care.